So task 7 says to learn about 3 tasks, specifically OOTB out of the box task that were not covered in class, and explain them. Explain what the task does and why we need the task. So basically, what I determined was that out of the box were just something that's already predefined with SailPoint. Um, and something that kind of comes bundled already with it. So when I look at the tasks that are preloaded in here, there's also the tasks that are over here. But I just chose some random ones. And the first one that I wanted to do was the effective access. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, this one, the effective access index refresh. Um, So what I kind of figured with this one, or what I looked up and found out, was that it's basically where a user like might gain access to a resource through membership to something that might be in like a nested group or a role that inherits permissions. So basically, if there was a member that had, or an employee that got into, I don't know, a specific team, and that member was also a part of like an employees group. Um, and then the employees all had access to like a shared um, document or repository or something. Um, when you did the effective access index refresh, then it kind of like calculates what that employee has access to, um, that wasn't necessarily like predefined under their initial team, if that makes sense. So they're kind of inheriting um, different components of other groups just because they were labeled as one, they're kind of included in another one. Um, and when I looked it up, it said that you need to make sure that this kind of thing gets run when there's like huge significant changes in a company, um, or different changes to access control policies. And then the next one that I chose to do, the full text index refresh, which is just the one below it. Um, And so this one is defined that it's a system process that rebuilds the index files used for full text searches within the Lifecycle Manager, allowing users to search for roles, attributes, or other data across multiple fields using keyword-based queries. So basically, it just dates the searchable database, um, and kind of reflects any changes that were made. So, for instance, if you had like a custom attribute um, or a role in SailPoint that you made searchable, and you wanted your users to be able to search for it with any portion of the name, you could run this full text index refresh, and then after it's done, um, your users should be able to type or find this project name that you have, um, and they can search for it by roles by typing in keywords of the project name um, directly into like the lifecycle manager, and they should be able to find it. So it just helps kind of them put in any text in order to find whatever they're looking for. And then the third one I wanted to do um, is the perform identity request maintenance. That is this one right here. So it says prune old identity request objects and scan unverified access requests to check for provisioning completeness. So my understanding is that this was kind of like a cleaning up um, of incomplete or outdated request. Um, by marking them as finished, and then SailPoint will remove them if necessary. So it's more like, I guess, a quality check. It seems like basically, like, okay, so say that a user requests access to the application, and then you get the provisioning process gets completed, and then you would run this perform identity request maintenance task. And then once that's finished, then um, handling like incomplete requests. So, like during the provisioning, a task might get flagged um, as needing attention, or potentially sending notifications to administrators to investigate like certain situations. It seems like this task is can be used kind of at random checks. It can prune old requests, as well as give you some status updates, and just kind of monitoring for troubleshooting. Right, those are the three that I chose.